Moves us on to number 14, discussion of Swepco power line clearing issue. Motion to discuss.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Floor is open.
Several people have queried me in regards to what's been going on this last week. I don't even know how to say it, the Esplendus, how, is that how you say it?
Esplant.
Okay, those people, the
Yeah.
tree cutting people. Have they been hired by Swepco to do our tree trimming around the lines? Does
Apparently
anybody
so,
know?
because they're the one doing it, yeah.
Okay. So what has been put to me, and I have been so tied up the last 2 weeks, I haven't gotten out anywhere, is these people are not trimming, they are cutting. And I mean to the point of ugly, and the trees are gonna die. They are trimming all the way back to the trunk, way down further than they need to and everything else. And we have an awful lot of citizenry that are furious as far as they're concerned, and I can thoroughly understand it and practically agree, this is payback by Swepco. Now, I don't know how this ties
Very
in with the
careful
group.
where you go with
I'm
this,
saying
lady.
this,
Please.
I am saying.
Stick to the facts, please.
This is what the people have said to me.
Okay.
I didn't say it. I
Based
was saying it,
on-
or I verified, said I could see it, but they are really upset. Now, what can we do as the council, as the city, in regards to protecting our trees from being overly trimmed? There's got to
By
be
whose
something we
definition?
can do.
Overly trimmed by whose definition? The power line people that supply the electricity that everybody likes around here?
don't want me to
Then
answer
when
that.
one tree limb gets in it, it goes,
If
Nobody
we
my
have,
electricity's
okay,
no-
like Chris is our tree expert.
Okay.
If he goes and he looks at trees
And
that
who's
have been
gonna pay
trimmed
him?
by the power lines, he says, oh my God, they didn't have to be trimmed that severely.
okay.
So I'm asking, can we do something like that? I don't know.
Let's discuss it further then. Mr. Perkypile.
Well, you know, they've got an 18 to 20 foot setback there. And you're right, some of these trees have been cut and they look terrible. Some of them are in spring reservations. Some were cut identical to the 4 years ago when they came through, 3 years ago. And some very old red buds, some very nice maples and all sorts of stuff. They have every right to do that because without it, we would not have a essential service. And it doesn't look pretty, but those trees are growing and will grow. Some of them, I would agree, were not really threatening anything but the telecom lines, the lower lines, big fat cables. But they have the right to come in and do that trimming. And frankly, I'm glad they did. In some areas, it was well needed.
I could still think of a few that I'm assuming they will get to.
But there's nothing we can do at this table. You can take those calls and say, listen, I'm sorry, but they do have the right to do that.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. So we can't have guidelines via city ordinance in regards to not allowing such massive cutbacks that are really likely to cause an awful lot of trees to die? We can't put a guideline like this or something? We have no say?
Mr. McClung, you were next, sir.
Well, nothing really
Yeah.
to say, but I mean, that's just pure projection as far as whether the trees are gonna die or not. I mean, granted, some of these employees may or may not be arborists, but yet, they do this for a living and so.
Okay, so I'm still
Mr.
looking at
McClung.
the attorney.
Well, wait, let me do
Okay.
that. Let me take care of that
Okay.
part of it, okay? Mr. DeVito, you're next.
We've had a very great summer with lots of rain. We look like a tropical jungle around here. You go in and cut something, and it's going to be noticeable. By next year, this will all be forgotten because 99% of those trees will regenerate and be leafed back out. And it's just the nature of anything that when you make a radical cut like that, yeah, it's going to be very noticeable. But these are professionals, they do this all the time, and they are not connected in any way with the power company that they work with. They're just a subcontractor.
Now, if you want to address Mr. Weaver, go ahead.
Go for it.
What
The
do
long
they do
and
with
short
the
of it
yard
is you can't do anything about it.
That we cannot set any kind of guideline.
They have the power to clear their right-of-ways.
Well, you
Why
know,
they
I
see fit.
understand the trimming and the need for it and all that. It's just, geez, go out and look at college. I mean, it seems to me there should be a line that can be drawn or should be drawn, I know, especially for a Tree City USA town.
They will sometimes allow the property owner through which their easement runs to decide if the tree is going to be so badly damaged that it needs to be leveled and taken out.
That happened
And they
with
will,
my
they
neighbor
will give
last
that
time.
option. But as far as how much they cut back, they decide.
Any further?
Okay, thank you.
Moves us on to agenda setting. Mr.
What do
DeVito.
they do with the yard
Nothing here.
waste?
Mr. McClung.
Nothing.
Mr. Mitchell.
Nothing.
Mr. Perkypile.
Yeah, I have two items.